Okay, guys, I'm going to show you an example of power breathing. Now, why it's called power breathing is because we go from a comfort zone to a performance zone. And here's the difference. When you take a look at the actual breathing process of taking air into the lungs, either through the nose or the mouth, and then activating the diaphragm, which is working with the lungs, going up and down and filling and contracting the lungs. Okay, just a very remedial explanation of the breathing process. When we breathe normally, and let's say that the lung capacity, let's say this is our lung, okay? Our lung is right inside this space. Now, what generally tends to happen when we're breathing is we have about this much of the space we're using, and we just breathe like this. We don't really think about it, but this is just breathe. If you're running or you're doing anything, it's like we're using more, okay? Because we need performance when we're exerting ourselves. Now, when we're performing, we could be performing in a very short space like this. We're doing our reads and our performances and our auditions. Or we can start using the full capacity of the lung. And so I want to help kind of raise your awareness to what's going on when you breathe. Now, we work through breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. So if you breathe right now, here's what goes on. But we're going to go to a performance breath. And here's how a performance breath works. When we take a breath, we're going to fill up our lungs all the way. Now, that's a pretty full lung, but it's not completely full. So when we get to the top of the breath, I'd like you to take 3 more breaths. Now, at this point, the lung sac should be pressing up against the ribs, and it should be feeling like, whoa, big, huge breath in. So the point of waiting, and I'm talking and explaining this at the same time, the point of waiting is the blood is oxygenating, the lungs are oxygenating the blood. And so when the oxygen starts to move into the bloodstream, it's making more room in the lungs. So when we get to the top, we squeeze in 3 more. There's a big, full breath. Now, when we let it out, we usually let it out here, but there's a reserve in the lungs that stays there. So we're going to squeeze that out as well. And we do that by this, fully exhaling, and then so think of it as saturating a sponge so that it can't even take in any more water, and then squeezing it and then wringing it out. So that sponge has now gone full capacity and has emptied itself fully. The lungs go full capacity and then they empty themselves fully. Now what that does is it gives you a big lung up, kind of like a push-up for the lungs. Okay? So I'm going to show you how this works right now completely. Here we go. Sometimes I'll even do this. Now that's a power breath.